how can the most played card in Modern and other formats as well be on the decline? A card that's in such demand should actually be going up in price, right? Well, that's not the way the market works. At least that's not the way the market works for this particular card. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Mattcaster Mage. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and joining in all the fun we have here. Today we're going to be talking about perhaps the most controversial, also probably the most successful card that Wizards of the Coast ever released in a set in the past 2 years, and that is the One Ring, the legendary artifact that has been on a tear this year, but has been really on the decline ever since those bannings, especially the announcements of Mana Crypt and all these Commander bans, which, you know, the One Ring, it's played in Commander, but that's not where it gets most of its play. Most of its play is actually in Modern, and it's played, I believe, in 60% of decks, could be even more at this point. That's the last time I checked, it was in at least 60% of decks, which is crazy. Sometimes people use it as a playset, sometimes people use it as just a one of, or even just a sideboard card, because it's very useful and gives you a lot of protection, right? It's indestructible as well. This is a legendary artifact, it's colorless, it fits in any deck. You know, it's a great piece to any deck, really. But the market is very, very scared, and they've been pricing it lower and lower because there's still demand. There's people buying it, but it's mostly sellers that are actually afraid of this card being banned, which is actually leading to the price declining the way it is. Now, we're not just talking about like a little bit of a dip. No, we're talking 50% in some cases over the last 3 months, which is insane. Now let's take a look at the regular version of the One Ring. As you can see right now, it is $56.18. It's lost 49.82% of its value over the last 3 months. It looks like it's peaked at September 4th to September 6th at $117.84. And this is US dollars, by the way. So if you're in Canada, I guess convert it. So add an extra 0.40, so 1.40, so 40% on top of that. So that's like your real price. So right now at near mint, $56.18, you're looking at probably around $85 to $90 for this card, which is still a lot of money, still a lot of dinero, still a lot of Canadian currency, which is like Monopoly money, right? It smells like maple syrup. That's what they say. That's what they tell me. I've never smelled maple syrup on those bills, but hey, maybe it's conspiracy theory. I don't know. The One Ring Borderless. This is the one you can also find in the bundles, and it was one of the reasons why the bundles were so expensive. But this card is also declined. This is the near mint version of it. It's declined 47.39% and is sitting at $48.20. And I actually like this version a little more than the regular one. I like that if you get all four, you can get like Sam, Frodo, and all that, and Golem, all in like a really cool picture S type of like 4 count, and you get the 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. It makes a really nice panorama display. I really like this card, but the market likes it too, and this is the thing. It's still selling at a pretty good rate. 27 of them sold in the last 2 days. 2 days before that, 29, 37, 27, 22. So the sales volume is there, right? The sales volume is there. A lot of it is just people are pricing it lower out of fear that it's going to get banned. It's driving the price even lower every single week, it feels like. It's just actually kind of mind-boggling here that we have a card that's played in so many decks, but just out of pure fear that this card is going to be banned, people are driving the price down on this card. The extended art version of the card is currently sitting at $69.62. It's lost 36.85% of its value over the last 3 months. Another version here, the extended art Surge Foil, another one. It hasn't lost as much because there is a massive pop-up, interestingly enough, from September 22nd to September 24th, and it was sitting at $159.75. But now it's sitting at $130.49, and it's lost 14.15% of its value. Now, the pre-release version, I mean, it's probably the rarest version you can get, and that's maybe for collectability's sake. It's the only reason why this card, out of all the versions of the One Ring, are actually up in price. It's actually went up by 17.80% over the last 3 months, sitting at $197.54. Next up is the Showcase Scrolls one. This is the one you can actually find in the Holiday Edition Lord of the Rings boxes, and you know, those are very expensive right now. Like, those collector boxes are ridiculously expensive. It is currently sitting at $193.90, and this one's also up just a little bit, up 3.57%. Now, the most expensive version of the card, of course, is the borderless poster version. A beautiful, beautiful card, and it's very difficult to pull, and you can only find this card as well in the holiday collector's edition version of the Lord of the Rings collector boxes. It's sitting at $252.89 right now for its near mint hollow foil market price. It's actually down 21.37%. I don't know if that its highest price point was at the end of August. Let me just do a 6-month trend here. No, okay, so its highest price point, woof, that was a heck of a decline. It was $340.24 from July 29th to August 4th, and then it's been on the decline ever since. And I thought this was just an interesting topic to bring up, and it's just something that I wanted to bring up in another video separate from market movers, because when a card is like quietly going down, like, it doesn't always trigger enough movement to appear in one of my market mover videos, but I know this card has been on the decline, so I just want to bring it up in a separate video and just kind of talk about what is going on. It's funny that a card that's played this much is losing this much value. It almost makes no sense. A lot of it is just fear that it's going to be banned. I remember something similar happening before with Mox Opal before it got banned, but I don't think it had this much of a decline. It's wild to see this happening right now, all because of fear. It's almost like the credible threat theory from the Federal Reserve, when they don't actually lower rates or something like that, but they kind of can make the market adjust based on just like a credible threat. It's kind of almost like there's a credible threat going on right now with this particular card that is scaring enough people from buying it, or at least paying high prices, and even the sellers are taking haircuts on this particular card. It's kind of crazy to see, and I want to know your thoughts about this down below in the description. Do you actually think that these fears are justified? Do you think that this card will get banned? The reason why I'm asking that is because not only is it like the most played card in Modern, it could be one of those interesting scenarios where we see them actually do a restriction instead of just an outright ban. And the reason why I say that is because, it's obvious that they're very delicate about their Universes Beyond, franchises being tied in with Magic. They're a little bit scared to kind of scare off other companies and IPs. No one wants to be attached to like a company where your cards are like very cheap or they decline. They kind of look like, I don't know, Beanie Babies or something like that. I know it's kind of like a drawn out stereotype about collectibles, but no one really wants to be in that position. And we could see a similar situation happen with the One Ring, where it was such a powerful card that was used to sell sets. It was like the trophy card for the set, and if they ban it, it could cause a lot of disruption in the market, but it also could just have people have like a lot of the credibility could be completely shot with Wizards of the Coast. And there is a lot of backlash from all of the Commander bans. We could see more backlash from Modern players about this, although Modern players usually are a little bit more, they take it on the cheek and the chin a little bit more when it comes to bans. They're not as, they don't really get the pitchforks out quite as much as the Commander ban community and all that stuff happened, which is like a whole other thing. I talked about that before, but that was wild. Anyways, guys, just want to know your opinion on this particular card and why it's been going down. Do you think it's going to be banned? Do you think it's not going to be banned? Do you think it's going to be limited? Let me know down below in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video.